is my meditation all the day, all the night, morning through night. And I delight in the law of the Lord, and on his law I meditate day and night. Morning Meditations with C.J. Marshall.
Good morning. Have you ever heard the phrase, faith over fear? You gotta have faith and be strong and not cower in the dark. That's the condemnation to it. You got to face your giants. Face these things that are tough in your life. That phrase, faith over fear, was made popular last year in light of the pandemic. In 1 Samuel chapter 17, we are introduced to a hero of faith that had faith rather than fear. In 1 Samuel chapter 17, the Philistines have come to Israel, and they bring a champion among the Philistines named Goliath. He was a 10-foot giant. And the Philistines were on one side of the mountain, and the Israelites were on the other side, and there was a valley in between. And the Philistines had been bragging of how great they are and making fun of God's people day in and day out, saying, no one can challenge our new champion. And rightfully so, they were afraid of him. There was one man who was actually a shepherd, tending his father's flock for his brothers, and he hears of this challenge Goliath has posed to the Israelites. And he goes and says, I will fight for the people of God. I will fight in this instance. David's indignation for how he was, Goliath, the giant, was treating the Israelites, led him to cross the battlefield with 5 rocks, 5 smooth stones, and a slingshot. And then when you come to verse 42, it says, and when the Philistines looked and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, ruddy and handsome in appearance. And the Philistine said to David, am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? And the Philistines cursed David by his gods. The Philistines said to David, come to me and I will give you flesh to the birds of the air and to the beasts of the field. In other words, he's saying, I'm going to kill you. But look what David responds. Here's what his faith looked like in the midst of a fearful moment. Not even Saul the king stood up to the sky. Everyone was cowering. No one would face him. And here's what he says. Then David said to the Philistine, you come to me with a sword and with a spear and with a javelin, But I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defiled. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, and I will strike you down and cut off your head. David contrasted with the fear Saul and the other Israelites experience, has faith over that fear to face Goliath. He says that the armies of God are behind him. I'm going to win. That's why I'm going to win. It's not by my own power. It's by the armies of God. And maybe always have that faith attitude over our fear. Don't cower, because we have, like David said, the armies of God behind us to fight our battles. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Morning Meditations. May we always be like the psalmist that says, "Oh, how I love you, Lord." It is my meditation all the day. See you next time.
Morning meditations, oh how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day, all the night, morning through night. And I delight in the law of the Lord, and on his law I meditate day and night.